Dante, how you feeling? Did you finish that bottle of wine though?
Almost. Does this record?
It records. It's going live.
Oh, good. All right.
It's live right now.
Live now, yeah.
All right, we are live. Dante doesn't know how technology works. Fucking Grammy recap. I will start by saying this. That was the best year for the Grammys that I have seen in a very, very, very long time. And I'm also very, very thankful that we did not do the live stream that we usually do. The live stream, and I apologize to everybody who's watched the last 2 years, was one of the biggest pieces of shit that we've ever done. Like, unequivocally, the worst fucking thing I've ever done. I was shit-faced last year. I'm not going to lie. I was very drunk. Dante was on his couch 60 feet away from the camera. This was much, much, much better, and I'm appreciative. It was a great Grammys. We got Kelly KEEGS here. Kelly, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm in full agreement with both the fact that the Grammys was the best there ever was, and also it's better doing it like this instead of a live stream the entire time. It's like very miserable. Although I have abstained from smoking weed this entire night to do this. So that's how much I care about you guys.
There's nothing like watching four dudes last year sit there shit-faced and go, yo, what just happened? Yo, did you see that? It was perfect. It was so fucking bad. And I'm like,
Kelly, you could have smoked for this. No one cares.
No. I have to have my thoughts right. I was smoking this afternoon, but I had a harsh cutoff at 5 p.m. I didn't want to be,
Well, I'll tell you, you should have smoked because you couldn't be more wrong. This Grammy sucked.
What?
Oh, boo. You're the only person who thinks that. Everyone loved it. I'm getting texts from like random friends being like, this Grammys is amazing. Like how incredible. All these performances are perfect, whatever. And I agree. The performances were out of control.
I feel like every year the performances are great. This year, really, I don't know. I kept waiting for something big or epic to happen. And I mean, they made it seem like The Weeknd returning after a 4-year, like self-imposed ban was this big.
That was weird. I'm going to admit that was weird.
That was strange for sure.
Weekend people are fucking weirdos, dude.
Big time weirdos. I agree with that. I was way more excited to see Playboi Carti, and that was strictly on some troll shit. I was not worried about anything else. It was strictly on troll shit that I was excited to see Playboi Carti. The Weeknd is the most overrated artist in the world. And I'm sorry, Sam, our fucking social media guy. I know you love him, Sam. His shit's overrated. I'm sorry. End of story. There was so much talent on display tonight, and I thought The Weeknd was one of the weakest parts of the entire show. Probably the worst performance, and there was a lot of really great performances. Just off the rip, that was the best part of the show tonight. Kelly had a great text earlier saying the right thing that the Grammys did this year was going less awards, more performances, and really, really high quality performances. And from the rip, Billie Eilish was incredible. First off, I can't believe that song didn't take anything home. Billie Eilish was great. I thought that Doechii obviously stole the show out of the new artist. Even with Benson Boone doing front flips, I really thought Doechii was amazing. Our guy Teddy Swims killed it. Sadly, he had to follow Doechii, which did not seem fair at the time.
He was still so good though. Like he brought the place down. Like his voice is tremendous.
Even Shabuzi was really good tonight. Everyone's heard that song 5,000 times, and he still brought it. And I mean, the crowd there was loving it. I didn't think there was a single bad performance tonight. It's just nothing that like blew my fucking mind. That's all I'm saying.
I guess that's fair. I think the thing with The Weeknd was bizarre because that guy who's that guy? He's like the CEO of the Grammys or something like that.
He's like the head of the Grammy board.
Sure.
It's the son. He's the biggest Nepo baby in the world.
Right. But I feel like I kind of like him.
Remember the guy that had the big white hair and the glasses?
I do remember that guy. Yeah.
Yes.
It was always up there sucking his dick. Well, this is his kid. He stepped down and let his kid have his.
Got it. Okay, but I do feel a little bit like maybe he cares about the show because I think the Weeknd performance was set up to be by this guy, this like huge return. Like, look at all the work we put into the Grammys. Look, we're trying to make things better and this and that and whatever. And like to prove everything, like here's the Weeknd. And then the Weeknd like mailed it in basically. It was like, this is your big moment to come back and be like, look, the Grammys are ours now. Like nothing else matters. But then, it just kind of blew dick. And then I think like in that same breath, someone put a thing being like, how many times do they mention the 13,000 voters of the Academy? That guy said something in his speech being like, we've tried really hard to make it transparent where the like decisions are made for these awards. And I think that they made every single person say that to remind everybody that like, that's who's voting on the winners, you know?
Could not agree more. Could not agree more. I thought that was weird. They kept like just announcing, and this is voted on by the 13,000 members.
Right. Once he said that, I was like, oh, that's why they keep doing that. Like clearly it's almost like it's like a little like, all right, fuck you. Like we get it that you're annoyed by people questioning, you know, who deserves what, like, you know.
We get it.
Right.
You put it perfectly though. The Weeknd phoned that shit in. He was wearing like a parka with his hood up. It could have been anybody. I don't know who the fuck that guy is.
It was a satanic ritual.
Okay, so this is my favorite Dante thing. The whole night we're going through this group chat that I was telling you about, Kelly, and it's like, damn, these are fire performances. Everybody's killing it. This is the best year for the Grammys. 10 seconds into the Weeknd performance, he goes, and here we go with the satanic bullshit again. Thanks a lot, The Weeknd. I'm like, all right, relax. It's Playboy Cardi. I'm excited. He goes, he's a demon. All right, Dante, we get it, man. We got
religious Dante in the house today.
Dante was throwing holy water at his screen. I thought that performance was great. Sabrina Carpenter was fucking outstanding.
She's unbelievable.
I love her. I just love her. And I love her music. I love her attitude. And she also she's such a good performer in the way that every time she performs, it feels like we're watching some sort of old-timey variety show or whatever. And I know that that's her whole thing, but it's just, she does it perfectly. And it's just like kitschy and silly. And her voice is incredible. Like, the outfits, I love it. I love her.
There's something amazing about her too, where it's like funny, horny, mixed with unbelievable talent and these great fucking songs. Like all the songs are fantastic. She's perfectly on time with all the little jokes that she's doing. But more than anything, dude, I didn't know what to expect out of that performance because all I ever see online is her doing the sexual acts on stage she does after the one song. And I'm always like, that's cool. Dude, fucking sounded fantastic. And I saying that makes me have to bring up Chappell Roan because you want to talk about sounding fantastic?
Oof.
To the fucking like dead nuts to the record. She was incredible. She's my GOAT of the night, and I'll get into that later. But just overall, Chappell Roan, those songs are meant for stadiums. They're meant for giant festivals. She is a fucking star. End of story.
Colin, you know what's nuts is before the show tonight, people were sending me, I'm sure you've seen it, the clip of her playing in a park on a keyboard in front of like 5 people singing Pink Pony Club. And then it segues into like the Lollapalooza footage. And it's one, what you said is so true, but 2, I loved how for her performance, first off, the choreography was sick.
Spot on.
Setup was awesome. But I loved the extra punch that they added to the song with the guitars and the drums. It just made it like, it added that little live flair to it. Not that you would think that she was lip syncing by any means, but it elevated the song a tad. And it was fun. I agree. I think that was the best fucking performance of the night. It was awesome.
It's so good. Also, too, with Chappell, like she's another one who's just so talented. Like she can sing and perform live like it's her, like it's what she's made to do, you know? Like, and I always knew she was a great singer. And obviously, like you see these clips of her at festivals or whatever, but when she performed on Saturday Night Live, I was like, okay, this bitch, like she's phenomenal. Like everything she says, does, she can sing a cappella, she can do whatever she wants, like, but she just is so good at capturing the tension of a room. Like it's
also, can we talk about her acceptance speech? So when she got nominated back in September, it was a big buzz because they asked her, you know, what do you think on your first nomination? And she said, oh, I hope that I win because I can't wait to say something controversial. And they were like, oh God, what do you mean? And she said, oh, I feel like if you don't say something controversial at the Grammys, you're not really doing it. And everybody was expecting something, you know, like
crazy. I know.
Or like a Trump tirade or something like that. But I mean, what a fucking way to use your soapbox for something that literally everybody in the world can agree with. And I mean, the label people had to be shitting their pants while she was up there, watching all their A-list stars in the front, like applaud and nod their heads. Like she fucking hit it out the park.
They were like tearing up. Like it was amazing. It was amazing to watch. And it's nice that she gets that kind of support too.
All those people that were sitting there clapping, you can be, judgmental and you can be jaded and say like, oh, well, they're all rich. Who gives a fuck? At one point or another, they were a struggling artist trying to make their way up and having to work 2 fucking like barista jobs to try and make this shit happen. Right. Mm-hmm. My thing is, you talk to any musician, on the podcast, we talk about it all the time. And it's always been something I've talked about is, there has to be a way in this industry to make life more livable for those trying to make it, or at least though even people who are making it per se on their way up are still living in fucking squalor. To have somebody of that stature come out and be like, yo, you motherfuckers, cough up the money, just treat people with dignity, give them they're making you money, give them health insurance. Is that too much to ask for?
Right.
That was fucking awesome. And I'm so happy that happened. And overall, like, I do think she got snubbed on one award that I will get into. She still had one of the biggest nights of the night. Like, and we were saying before, like, what a stacked new artist section there. Ray, who became like a household name this year. Fantastic. Kelly, I think you put me on to Ray. I got to be completely honest.
Ray, I really like. Well, she opened for Taylor Swift in Europe a couple times. So I didn't know who she was before that either. And then I kind of investigated a little bit, and she's another one, like just a powerhouse, a little bit of a different sound. And I love how creative everyone is being. And I think that has a little bit to do with how exciting the Grammys was. Like it wasn't just the same thing 20 times, like it was, everybody is so different and is so in their bag right now that like, it was just, hit after hit after hit, like even going the difference between like Sabrina and then like Charlie XCX, like that was awesome. Like it still was great to watch, but it was just, and Doechii, same thing, like so different, but so exciting to watch.
I had to say Doechii's, whoever did her like PR or like her like social media blast in the months leading up to the Grammys, we in our pre-Grammy episode, I remember this very vividly. This is like 3 months ago. I said, who the fuck is Doechii? I feel like I've seen that name before. I don't know who this person is. I'm a big enough man to admit I was not aware of her game prior to like a month ago. And
I didn't know either until that one song went crazy on TikTok. Like I literally had no idea. I was like, oh, what's this? And then I was like, oh, wait, fuck, this is good.
And that shows you how quickly the internet works and how quickly the industry moves, that by the time that she came up, she won tonight and everybody was like, oh my God, I've been riding with this girl forever. It's like none of us knew who she was until like 2 months ago. I'm a man enough to admit that. I fell into that train hard. She was fucking fantastic. She absolutely used the most of her platform tonight to like make lifelong fans. That was fucking amazing. I thought Shabuzi, thank God. I'm so happy we got to meet him this year. Great guy. I'm happy for him. I hope he gets back there. I hope he can recapture exactly what happened this year for him. He's a great dude. Teddy obviously is our boy. We've been with him for years now. Fucking Krungbin, who this was one that me and Dante were talking a lot about tonight. Most of these artists have been around for 10 plus years. This is their first time in the public conscious that they can get nominated for Best New Artist. Krungbin is like, I don't know, like fucking Texas meets Indian music from outer space. And I fucking love that band. Overall, Benson Boone fucking stealing the show, like doing front flips.
Everyone loves Benson Boone. Like people are, I don't really know. I know that one song pretty much. Like I haven't really done a deep dive, but every time he does it, it hits. Everyone's excited. Everyone loves the flips. They're like, listen, he's flipping all over the place. Let him do it. I liked Nikki Glazer and Heidi Klum, I think were the ones helping to rip off his fake tux. Yep. Hilarious. J-Lo's drooling. She got to wipe the drool off her chin. She loves him so much. Hilarious.
Yeah, how do you like? I had my wife was watching the Grammys upstairs with the baby in bed, and I was downstairs. She texted me, and I just as soon as he ripped the fucking thing off and had the leotard on, she was like, "I like this Benson Boone guy." Texting me, and I'm like, "You motherfucker, I know what you're doing."
Of course you do, yeah.
Also, shout out to that guy. This is gonna sound weird. I appreciate the fact that my man came out in a leotard, and at the end, you could visibly tell that he was uncomfortable. Like his junk was uncomfortable in that fucking thing. I appreciate the fact that this man did that in that costume and showed out for all the boys, being like, "I know this sucks, but I'm here in my sparkly leotard, and I'm fucking killing it."
All right, are we gonna talk about the two big fucking things that everybody tuned in to hear us talk about?
Drop it, Dante.
Okay, which way do you want to go first, Kendrick or Beyonce?
I want to end on Kendrick, so go Beyonce.
Okay, yeah, let's go Beyonce first.
Beyonce won her first album of the year this year. I feel like this is when Denzel won his first, like, best
the Oscar. Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, she's had so many fucking better albums than this, and for her to win on this is like, it destroys the credibility of the Academy with that they were hanging on like by a thread to begin with. And then that's on top of her winning Best Country Album of the Year, which is just fucking ridiculous. It's like, I hate the term pandering, but it's like fucking pandering.
I understand where you're going with this to a point. Because, I mean, even within our group chat, it was very divisive that she won that. And it was going to be divisive one way or another. Part of me instantly goes, come on. Like, you're just doing this because of what happened the last time they were at the Grammys. And Jay-Z got up and basically was like, you motherfuckers need to give my wife this award. That is exactly what happened. He basically was like, how the fuck are you not going to give Beyonce Album of the Year after all this time? I said, when Dante, you asked me, hey, I'm writing this blog, who do you have? I said, there's no way Beyonce loses this. After what happened last time, she's getting this award. I was in the minority of people within our circle that when that album came out, I said, I really like this. You might not say it's traditional country. It's not country music. It is country music in Beyonce's way. That song with Miley Cyrus, I thought was probably one of my top 5 favorite songs of the year. That is pure country. There was great acoustic guitar tones on that record. Is it Chris Stapleton? No. Is it Lainey Wilson? No. That's fine. I thought Stapleton was going to win it for the exact reason you kind of just listed before, because, you know, the fucking Grammys, they love Stapleton, and that's an easy pick. That's country. People are never going to argue about Chris Stapleton winning an award in country, whatever. I don't have that big of a problem with her winning that. Did I think it was the best album of the year? No. Did I think it was a cool departure from what she usually does? Yes, I thought that was fucking sick. But my question is, Dante, who would you have given the award to in this scenario?
For which one?
For Album of the Year.
Dude, I don't know how you go against Chappell Roan in that, or Taylor Swift, as much as like Taylor's the fucking boring pick. The album was fucking colossal. She toured for 2 years on it, made $1 bajillion on it. I don't get how it gets bigger than that. And again, dude, I agree. I thought the Beyonce album was like pretty fucking good. It was not her best work. And I said the same thing when Taylor won last year. That wasn't Taylor Swift's fucking best album, but it was Album of the Year. I don't know. Kelly, I'm interested to hear your take on this as a female.
I'm pretty aligned with you, Dante. No joke. Like I think with Beyonce's album, I was such a massive Lemonade fan. I thought Lemonade was like the best album. Like it's like a top 3 album of all time of anybody for me. Like I think it was unbelievable. And the fact she didn't win for that, since then, I've just never thought that she's had an album that good. And I think that was a huge misstep. And I've always just kind of been waiting for something big like that to come around. And I understood what she was doing with Cowboy Carter. It wasn't my favorite album. I liked a couple of the songs, but I don't like country Beyonce, I guess. It's just not my vibe. But obviously a lot of work went into it. So in my head, I was like, I wonder if they're going to like do the nods for those reasons and whatever. Going into tonight, I had no idea what was going to happen. I really didn't think Taylor was going to win Album of the Year because we were talking about this before we started. But for those who don't know, Tortured Poets Department is a double album. There's the first like 13 tracks, and then there's another 12, I think. And the second half is called The Anthology, and submitted for the Grammys and up for consideration was only the first half of the album. And personally, I do not think, I think the album as a whole is tremendous. And I think the second half is honestly better. Like I prefer the second half for the most part. And so I was kind of like, I don't know. And you know, what's going to happen, whatever. But
why did
when
that
they
happen?
What?
Why did that happen?
I think because, I don't know, because it's technically 2 albums. So I guess she can't really, you have to pick and choose, I guess. I'm not really sure. But when Beyonce won Country Album of the Year, I thought, okay, this is their way to get out of giving her Album of the Year because it's very clearly not her best album. And I actually thought Chappell Roan was going to win. But then that album was like, 2 years old technically, like, so I wasn't sure what was going to happen with that. But I really thought Chappell would win, and then like maybe Sabrina, like, because I love Sabrina and I thought that album was tremendous as well. But when they gave her country album of the year, I did not think she would get album. So I was completely shocked, despite the fact that, you know, Jay-Z's antics from last year, all of his bullshit, that's like embarrassing. Like when that happened in real time, I was like, if that's my husband, I'm fucking pissed at him at home. Like why'd you do this? Like now you put me in an awkward position. So now, right, this year, does it feel like, it feels like, okay, Beyonce, we're here to make you and Jay-Z happy. And like, that's why you got this. And if I'm her, I'm pissed off. And I honestly probably value the country award more than the album of the year award.
That's a good point.
Even though she has been chasing this album of the year award her whole career. So I wonder how she feels. I mean, she's got 2 Grammys tonight at least. So who cares really? But I was surprised that they gave her both. I would have thought they would choose one.
I'm going to put this way. Who do you think out of everybody, because if we're looking at the major categories, a few people got shut out. Mm-hmm. Who was the biggest shutout of the year? Because to me, Billie Eilish. Did Billie win anything?
No.
Not that I've seen, unless she won like other random awards, but just a quick Google being like, you know, Grammys this year. She's nominated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And as far as I can see, has not won any of them.
And honestly, I think this album was crazy. I think this album was better than her last one.
This album was, I thought she would maybe win album of the year. Like and she's, you know, obviously her talent is unquestionable. Like you know everything, and her writing even is good too. Her and Phineas, like all the behind the scenes stuff of them coming up with the songs and whatever. Like it's clear the work that goes into it. So she looks sad. Did you see?
She looks sad, but I also had a tweet. I am confused why Billie Eilish is now dressing like Lil Bow Wow. I don't understand the look
on that. You know, she does this shit all the time.
I don't understand it.
I got a question before we move on. KEEGS brought up Jay-Z. What was up with, is that not the weirdest marriage of all time? What was up with them in the like friends hugs tonight?
Oh man.
Seriously, what is going on with that?
I have no idea. Well, Jay-Z's in the middle. He's in the middle of so much drama. The fact that he keeps like leaving the house and showing up to these big events is like crazy to me. And poor Blue, you know, she's there. Blue seems to be like really holding the shit down. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like she's there. She's supporting her mom. She's helping her up on stage. Like I love it. I love to see it. I think it's a really sweet thing. And Jay-Z's kind of sitting in the background drinking champagne, trying to cheers with Taylor Swift, low key. And it's like, what are we doing here?
Do you think Jay-Z is texting Diddy on the side, updating on what's going on?
Like probably. Diddy's in the hospital right now. He probably has his phone.
No, I think he slithered his way in. He finally got in with Taylor, and he's pitching her on Super Bowl next year tonight.
Wait, are you talking about Diddy or Jay-Z? I was confused.
No, Jay-Z.
Diddy slithered into the Grammys. Well, I'm sorry. Wait, speaking of slithered into the fucking Grammys, you didn't even talk about Kanye.
He's the funniest dude ever, dude.
No, first off, who do you think got stuck with the job of going up to him and being like, Mr. West, sorry, you have to leave?
Fake news.
That poor fucking soul.
Fake news.
Literally. Apparently that's fake news. But here's the thing. I have a conspiracy.
It's fake news. He didn't get kicked out.
Apparently he didn't get kicked out. He just left of his own accord. So either one, that's bullshit. That might be bullshit, but the Grammys confirmed it. The Grammys were like, oh, well, if you won a Grammy before, like you're invited to the Grammys, but like nobody knew he was coming. He had nowhere to sit. Nothing was going on. He's clearly, you know, doing his weird, like embarrass my wife fetish thing. And we all hate that shit. And then, but here's my theory. Entertainment Tonight were the ones that broke that he got asked to leave and whatever. Entertainment Tonight is the #1 trusted source of Tree Payne, Taylor Swift's publicist. So regardless of if he was or not, I think like the spreading of that rumor is just funny. Like I believed it. I blogged it right away as fact. Like I didn't do an update. I'm like, whatever. Let people think that he got kicked out. I don't give a fuck. What a freak.
The whole thing is so fucking funny. You know, it's funny. Me and my wife were talking about this before the Grammy started, and I was like, damn. Was I wrong about Kanye this whole time? I'm like, thank you for the first 6 albums, but goddamn, something's going on here. I feel my wife was like, isn't she like an architect or something? Like, what the fuck is going on?
I can't imagine what like the payday is for her. Like, so I've gone through, you know, I've read interviews and stuff with Julia Fox when she was dating Kanye, and she said that it was very like, hi, I would like you to like be my girlfriend, but you're also my muse. And I'm going to like try out fashion stuff like with you and dress you. And she said it was like not a sexual relationship and like all kinds of weird shit. But then I think this is different because she just looks exactly like Kim Kardashian. And I feel like there's something more to it where he like makes her be naked in public all the time and like humiliates her. And
she's way hotter than Kim Kardashian.
I mean, they look so similar.
They do. They look wildly similar.
Look like even their bodies are the same. Like they have the same body.
Well, luckily they're all
real. Kim Kardashian is 100% fake. This chick is 100% real.
She's like, they can tell because she's butt ass naked all the time.
I mean, that's true. Yeah, I mean,
she has to be under mind control, right? She has to be like under. Like,
maybe she's like into it too. Maybe she's like, okay, yeah, I have this like exhibitionist like streak or something. But I don't know. Something is just not. I just fucking hate Kanye now. I can't stand what he's such an asshole. Like he's going on these weird rants on Twitter again. He's like unfollowing everyone on social media, but only following Taylor Swift. Why is he doing that shit again? It's like, stop trying to get attention from us. Like, stop. It's just beyond.
Speaking as a lifelong Kanye fan who's now kind of just in the doldrums of understanding that I'll never get old Kanye back, man, just shut up and make music. Please stop tweeting. Or is this
sad? His music is great. Like, it's sad.
Was great. I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. But I mean, past Kanye West and his wife, Jaden Smith, what the fuck was that?
What does he have? Did anyone ever explain it? Like, I didn't even see him get an interview or anything. Like, I have no idea why he did that.
So he had the house on his head. But speaking of Jaden Smith, his fucking dad's presenting awards again?
Why?
What the fuck was that?
And it was like, wrap it up, Will. Like, I mean, I know it was a Quincy Jones like tribute and stuff, but it wasn't, hey, Will Smith, tell me every story about you and Quincy Jones. Like, I don't give a fuck about you and Quincy Jones. Like, I want to hear everybody else.
Do you think he got off stage and he was like, all right, we're back on track with this award shit. We're okay now. I didn't hit anybody.
Probably.
My first reaction was, dude, I want him to hit Stevie Wonder. And I know that's bad. And I love Stevie Wonder to death. But just for the just what would have happened on Twitter. It would have been one of those Twitter. Just, God damn it. Also, I will say this. Huge Quincy Jones guy. I thought Janelle Monáe was amazing. There was so much they could have done for Quincy Jones because his career is so goddamn expansive. I was surprised they went like Sinatra. They went more orchestral and they didn't go more into like the Michael Jackson era shit. Fucking rest in peace, Quincy Jones, because he deserves all that. He was the godfather of a lot of American music. Sure. But
maybe they're going to do like a special or something for him, because you're right. It's just too much to even encompass in like a short thing. I loved Cynthia Erivo's performance though. Her Sinatra performance. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah. She's just what a gem. I love her around. Bring her to everything all the time. Like she's such a good like vibe. She seems so calm and sweet, and her voice is insane. You know, I love her.
Were you? I thought they did a great job with that tribute, top to bottom. I thought it wasn't over the top. It incorporated the right people, and I don't know. I feel like he was the ultimate like showman. He had his hand involved in so many different like arts and parts of the entertainment industry, not just music. So I got the Will Smith part. I thought that was cool that, you know, Will Smith was kind of like his protege in a way, and they had him deliver the tribute. Colin, that's so funny, like what you were saying about all that. I didn't even think about that, but I honestly had to do a double take at Stevie Wonder.
Same. Dante, I was like, is that Stevie Wonder? Like, I even his voice, like when he talks, his speaking voice
did not seem like, right? Did not seem like him and did not sound like him.
Right.
Hey, real quick, we did get a question in the chat here. Going back to the country music Grammy for Album of the Year. I do have a question on this too. Dante, do you feel like Post Malone got snubbed in this? Do you feel like Post Malone actually had a shot to win this? Because I actually love that album. Or should it have been Casey Musgraves? Or should it have been?
Yeah, but it's the same. Like, I can't sit here and say Beyonce didn't deserve it for the reason
say Post Malone did.
And then say Post Malone deserved it, because I mean it's
the same thing.
Yeah, I mean it was more of a, you know, almost a compilation album. I mean, he had every song had it was a duet and had a feature, except for the extended cab version he put out, which honestly, like Kelly was saying about the Taylor edition, I feel like Post's bonus tracks were better than the album cuts. I don't know, man. I just feel like I don't want to see this genre get hijacked and people from, the pop world coming in and like taking it over and winning these albums. I love the crossover stuff. I thought the Post album was one of the best albums of the year. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I like the Beyonce album. At the end of the day, they're not, I don't know. They're not, Chris Stapleton. They're not like Lainey Wilson. The comment is right.
I wish they could give like the Moon Men to like albums like that. But then when it comes to the Grammys, it's like I would have loved personally. I thought Deeper Well by Casey Musgraves is so underrated. Like I would have for half a second I was like maybe Casey will win. Like she's just so. I got to see her show at Barclays and it was just like even better than I imagined. Like she's just so good and yeah, you're right. It's you want people to experiment and be creative and go outside of their comfort zones and try new things. But then when it comes to these categories like country, it's like the people that have dedicated their lives to making country music and they hoped, oh my God, one day I'll come here. And then like Beyonce gets album of the year because she tried something new one time and succeeded and had all these stars on the album and Dolly Parton and Miley Cyrus, like all these people. And yeah, I think if I'm one of those people who's really trying to break in and like, this is my category, I won't even ever get to album of the year, but country music album of the year, maybe I will. Yeah, that sucks.
Luckily in this scenario, though, the other people who were nominated between, Lainey Wilson and Chris Stapleton and Casey Musgraves, they are all very likely to get back to this category. So we'll give them that. We need to get to Kendrick. We need to get to the big winner of the night. 5 Grammys. He got music video of the year, rap performance, rap song, and record of the year. Now, me and Dante did a whole breakdown of our picks beforehand. I did not think there was a chance that they were going to give a song about Drake being a pedophile song of the year. Same. I just didn't think it was going to happen. And
my mind is still blown. I cannot comprehend this. I can't believe that just happened.
Look,
did you hear everyone singing it back? Everyone in the room, it was singing the A minor. It was the loudest shit. I've never heard anybody sing so loud at the Grammys. Like, and I know that there are people that aren't the artists that are there. It's like a concert for sure. But all the celebrities on the floor, Taylor Swift is screaming A minor. There's video of her. They're all singing it.
I will never.
How does Drake come back from this?
He doesn't. This is, dude, it used to be like embarrassing to lose a rap battle. It used to be like, man, he got the best of me on this back and forth.
Dude, he did it to Meek Mill. He did it to fucking Pusha T. He did it to all these guys, and now he got it 10 million times worse.
Look,
10 million times worse.
The messed up part for him is, though, this is not the worst day of his week because the Super Bowl is on Sunday. Kendrick's about to be in front of like 100 million people saying, you're a pedophile. It gets no worse.
Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Like,
wop, 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 wop. And they played that part on the Grammys. When he was walking to the stage, he's walking up to shake the person's hand who's giving me the award. And I just heard certified lover boy, certified pedophile. And I literally shot out of my chair. This is unbelievable. This is the thing about this song, though. I love Not Like Us. I'm a huge Kendrick fan. Dante hates me for it. He calls me a dick rider. And that's fine. I am in this scenario. I wanted this to happen. As soon as this beef started, and shout out J. Cole, I tweeted, J. Cole must feel like the kid at the high school party who left 5 minutes before the cop showed up because he dipped out. He was like, this is not going to go well for me. Drake, being Drake, was like, no, I got this. This is fine. I'll be able to handle this fucking lunatic. Wrong. That's not how this is going to go. This didn't feel like song and record of the year. I said song of the year was going to go to Chappell Roan. I thought it was going to be Good Luck Babe. I thought it was the best, most well-written song of the year. I think it's a perfect pop song. I don't think you can do any better. I thought record of the year was going to be Birds of a Feather. I thought Billie Eilish deserved it. I thought that is the best song she's ever put out, in my opinion. I think it's
really good.
It's a perfect song. But there is one thing that's really cool about this Kendrick song. And I want to do a fact check on this past the fact. When has there ever been a song that won song of the year or record of the year with one songwriter on it? It's just Kendrick. That's cool. I like that. As opposed to
maybe Taylor?
Probably. You know what? You're probably right about that.
I think Taylor has had one before. Maybe for Speak Now. I'd have to go look.
Does she give Jack songwriting credits?
She does. Or no, I think depending on the song, he's always listed as like a producer, but I don't know if he gets literal like written by credit. I think he does sometimes. Yeah, depends on the song.
Also, are we going to talk about this? A fact I found out was that Jack actually worked on Kendrick's album.
Yeah, Jack worked on Kendrick's. He worked on Sabrina's and Taylor, obviously, but he himself was not nominated for anything.
Crazy.
Isn't it crazy?
Well, I mean,
possible.
And Dan Nigro did win Producer of the Year this year, which congratulations to Dan Nigro. Well deserved.
Monster year for that guy.
Well deserved. Yeah. And it's cool too. Good.
You know who else? Sorry to interrupt you. I just don't want to forget. You know who else won something today? Won a Grammy. I'm not exactly sure for what. Amy Allen.
Yes, songwriter.
Who songwrites for Sabrina most recently. Like a couple other people too, but Sabrina, I had no idea that she was helping to write with Sabrina, and Sabrina thanked her on stage. Mm-hmm. I've like, someone told me about her recently. It was like, oh, this is a friend of mine. She writes songs for some people, and like but she has a couple songs and she's really good. And then when I looked her up, I saw who she fucking was. I was like, I couldn't believe it. And her own songs are also amazing. Like it's like BB Rexa, you know. Yep. BB Rexa's got great songs, but she writes like bangers for everyone. So shout out to her.
Dante pointed this out during the middle of the show. Charlie XCX, great songwriter for other people as well. Charlie's had a long road. Charlie was just known as the boom clap girl for a while. I didn't know what she sounded like, really. That's why I liked Brat so much. I feel like I got a peek into who she actually is and what she actually sounds like. I thought that's why I love that fucking album so much. Which, if that would have won Album of the Year, I would have been a little confused, but I would have been like, you know what? It's kind of cool. It's off the wall. It's dirty. It's kind of messed up, but it's this cool industrial electronic fucking dirtbag album. It's cool. I like that.
I kept saying as a joke that it was going to win. I was like, all these other people are stupid. Like, they're going to give it to Brat so they can set the place on fire. Cause like, that's what the kids want, you know?
Dude, honestly. And her performance was awesome. Mm-hmm. I thought she was great. It always messes me up that she dates the quiet, or she's getting married to the quiet, nerdy bass player from the 1970s.
They got married like a few weeks ago.
He looks like he reads books, and she looks like she like does coke and stays out all night. Like that might be a perfect marriage. Like, honestly, like just opposite the track kind of a situation. She looks like she should be with Matty Healy just based off of appearance. They look
for
like
sure, but also George might, you know, he's in that band, so he might have that streak to him as well, you know. And she's always making him do silly stuff like at her shows and whatever. So like, you never know.
I mean, overall, just top to bottom for the Grammys this year, I thought like this is the first time I've left watching the Grammys and been like, I am really happy with this. I thought everybody did well. And you know what? I saw it all over Twitter. It wasn't overly political. People don't have that to hang their hat on. There was like one or two things that people said. And I was like, you know what? Everybody shut up for 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Like Gaga said something.
Yep.
Oh, wait. What did you guys think about Gaga and Bruno Mars?
I still don't know who listens to that song. I've long been saying that song to me feels like a song that you pass by in department stores and you're like, yeah, this is cool. This could have been AI. I don't know. I love Bruno Mars to death. I think he's like one of the most talented entertainers. Gaga obviously has had an incredible career. I'm more interested in whatever the hell that fucking new song that was the entire commercial between two sets.
Abracadabra. I think that's her new, I forget the name of the new album. It might be called that. Like, it might be the same title. I'm not sure. But I'll tell you what, everyone, the Little Monsters are thrilled about it. They are like, yes, this is the Gaga we needed. Like, come back to us, Mother Monster. Like, people are thrilled about it. And they're very excited for the new album. So they're loving it.
I did have a text that Dante wanted me to tweet that I did not tweet, but I will say it here. And I said, why is it that when female pop stars hit a certain point in their career, they just start making like industrial music for gay dudes? Like that's I know that's been her thing forever, but like it just makes me think of like Madonna hit a certain point and she was like, dude, fucking like voguing and all this shit.
Absolutely.
And then you think of Kylie Minogue. There's like a certain point in your career where you're just like, dude, I found my target audience and it's gay dudes. And that's cool. But it's just like, it's funny to see the demarcation line hit and you're just like, all right, this is where we're going now.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's where I'm headed personally.
Yeah.
Maybe love it.
Dude, I mean,
vibes sometimes.
I got no problem with that. I got absolutely no problem with that. My biggest takeaway from the night though was I feel like 2024 was actually a good year for music. And I think people tend to always look at this lens of like the current year that we were in is not as good as said year 30 years ago. Dude, that was a strong year for music. It was an interesting year for music where a lot of like unique things came out. This was not 2019, 2020, 2021, where it just felt like it was all, trap, and it was all, things started to expand and some things started to lose steam, and other things that I found really interesting came to be. And number one, to me, I said this was the year of like girls in pop music. It really was. It was girls in pop music, and it was country. And
that's what I was gonna say. Asterisks. This was a really good year for pop music.
Yes.
And it needed it because pop music has stunk for a while. It's been just like artificial as fuck. And Kelly made a really good point earlier. You have all these different kind of artists right now, all doing their own thing, and it's all working.
Mm-hmm.
I like that everyone's unique. Everyone's sound is unique. Sabrina Carpenter is bringing back this old, like, Kelly said, this kind of like show tunes / Vegas, like showgirl vibe, which I think is fucking awesome. And and for the first time in a while, I'm optimistic about the future of pop music.
I'm not optimistic about a different genre, and it's rock and roll. And I'll explain.
Oh God. Was there a single bit of rock and roll tonight? Not one bit.
This is why I'm angry. And somebody
cut it out of the show completely.
Out of the
show completely.
But it deserves to be cut out of the show though, Dante, because it's become an irrelevant genre in its own like doing. I don't know how else to put this. And this is the genre that I live in. So I'm not talking outside of my experience. When you have nominees and a nomination for Best Rock Album with two of the best young bands in the world, in Idols and Fontaines DC, as the two frontrunners, and then you give that award to the Rolling Stones, you are holding your genre back. Give these young bands the opportunity to say, we are Grammy winners. We are the best band in the world. Instead, you give it to 85-year-old dudes who are just going to throw that award on top of the pile, and it's never going to mean a goddamn thing. It would have been talked about if a band like Idols, or it would have been talked about if a band like Fontaines DC, who have been cutting their teeth, came out and said, we are the best band in the world. Follow us. That's great. And then you gave Rock Song of the Year to the Beatles. What are you doing?
I am kind of unsettled by the Beatles thing. Like I don't really like it. It's not that I don't like the song or whatever, but I don't like this idea of like reconstructing new songs based on using like AI and their voices, and Paul's involved, and then it's up for awards and they're not all alive. And it's like, I don't know, something. It's like when it's like how they keep putting out songs for oh man, what's his
name any rapper.
Really.
Pop Smoke, XXXTentacion, Juice WRLD,
Juice WRLD specifically. Juice WRLD, like every day he's on New Music Friday. Like every week he's on New Music Friday, and it's like, how are they still putting out Juice WRLD stuff? Like it's crazy.
It's weird, and it's just a situation where this would be like if in the rap category they had fucking Jay-Z, or they had like all the new artists. They had like Doechii, they had J. Cole, they had all this, and they gave the award to LL Cool J. And you'd be like, this genre doesn't mean anything anymore. What is this?
Yeah.
And then so you're just rock and roll in the industry, in the mainstream, is going the way of big band swing jazz. It is. It's something that used to happen, but out of that could come something cool and underground, which those two bands are. Idols and Fontaines DC are both great fucking bands. Give them the shine they deserve. Stop doing this bullshit with the Rolling Stones. And they're my favorite band of all time. They should not be getting Grammys. That album was fine.
They don't give a shit about it either. Like they do not care. Like they're just trying to they're making the last bits of money, and they're having fun, and they're just like hanging on for dear life. You know what I mean? Like
there's somebody in the chat though right now saying they're bringing up the posthumous thing, and they brought up Mac Miller. I want to push back on this for 1 second, because the Mac stuff is done slightly differently. And I'll say this because I love Mac to death, and I followed this since he's passed away. These were all albums that were done that Mac was going to release, that his estate has been like carefully making sure that they're exactly what Mac would have wanted, and then releasing them at the right times. The Pop Smoke stuff and the Juice WRLD stuff definitely feels like more of a money grab. And it just feels like they're just like throwing shit out.
Especially the Juice WRLD stuff. Like I watched that documentary. I don't know if you guys watched that documentary.
I did watch that documentary.
And all the fucking Klingons in his life, like they're just pumping this shit out. Like who's collecting the money for Juice WRLD? You know what I mean? Like something about it is not right for me.
100%. Overall, who is the biggest winner of the night?
I would say Kendrick or Beyonce. Really, they're in terms of literal awards, like they won the big ones. As far as entertainment goes, I think Doechii. Doechii, people really, like we were saying before, she kind of became mainstream through clever PR. And now I'm kicking myself. Like, how did I not know this bitch? Like, she's amazing. Love her. Body is crazy. The performance was insane. And the song is good. Like the song that she keeps performing, and then the other songs she's smashing up and stuff. Like, and she's a very talented writer, clearly, and really talented. Like, it's almost like slam poetry a little bit, which I think that a lot of these artists are bringing into not literally slam poetry, but that aspect of writing, I think, is becoming super important. And I love that. Like, I love that people are really taking the time to like be creative and write and like create music based on what they're writing, and not just, put a couple chords together, typical chords, and then do the same chorus 15 times,
I think you're dead on with the winners. And I think the loser is very clear. It's gotta be Drake. It's Drake.
It's please. Drake. I mean, is Drake ever gonna leave his house again? Like, oh my God! Like, what?
So I'm saying,
how do you move? Really though, how do you move past this? Like, how do you come back? Like, I don't know if you do.
I think it's
what do you think Taylor feels like leaving the Grammys for like the first time in her life with no statues in her hand? She must be like, what the fuck is this?
Crying into $1 billion.
I was wondering that, but I kind of feel like last year she won a bunch for Midnights, and I agree with you, Dante, that I loved Midnights. It's not her best out. Like, Folklore was the best. Like, Midnights wasn't as good as Folklore, so I didn't think that it like should have won in that same way. Not that I'll never say no to an award for Taylor Swift. Obviously, she deserves everything she ever gets. Like, love her, but in terms of like, if you're really nitpicking it, but again, I think like putting Fortnite up 1 million times and then only the first half of Tortured Poets, like, I'd be surprised if she went into the night being like, I hope I don't have to get up on stage with these big ass heels, except for to present the award to Beyonce. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't think that she is so hell bent on like these awards as people want to make her out to seem.
Kelly, why'd she roll solo tonight?
She usually rolls solo. She always does the carpet alone, and then she's always there with like Jack for the Grammys. But no, she's never done a carpet with Travis. Like, they've never done a carpet together.
Travis is a little busy this week, dude.
And he's busy. Yeah,
he's a little busy this week. He better be getting
play the Super Bowl.
I know. I would have preferred if he would have went and got hammered and embarrassed himself, maybe even got arrested, and then I wouldn't have to worry about this shit on Sunday.
Right. Exactly.
I digress. I'm gonna let myself get in the way here. Honestly, I think Taylor seemed like she had a great attitude all night. And I think
she always does, though. Like, I think she is someone who at these award shows, well, she's always said that she stands up and cheers and dances because she pictures herself on stage, and she would want to see that like as like encouragement. So she does it for everyone.
I love that she got the entire party started the very first performance, she was up on her feet and first like celeb dancing. She always is. And I like the reasoning behind it. And it's funny. She just knows everyone's music. Like, someone will go up and she's singing every word to every song. I don't know if she just is that plugged in to music. Kelly, it seems like she is, but Kelly, I almost brought this up earlier, but I didn't want to derail things when you were talking about Ray and how she put her on as one of her openers. Her last tour, the openers she selected are all like on rocket ships right now. Blasting off. What do you think her fucking Spotify is? I mean, does she just have the best Spotify on the planet?
I am so curious about that all the time. Like, I really, really wonder, like, what does her shit look like? Because she really does listen to all genres, everybody. She's checking in on people. The thing too about her is that she likes rap music. She likes, whenever I think it was like the VMAs last year, she was going crazy with all the I forget who came on. It might have been like an old Lil Wayne song or something, and she was like every fucking word. Like, she's she's 1 year older than me. I'm 34.
She was rapping a Millie, remember?
Yes. And she just like goes crazy. So all the like millennial rap songs you would think you would know, like, she knows them all. And so I'm so curious, like, does she listen to old stuff or does she listen to new music? Like,
I don't know, but she has an unbelievable ear because everybody that she has like brought into her orbit. And it's not like, obviously Taylor Swift co-signing you is a huge fucking deal, but it's not like she's making these people's careers. Like, they are legit fucking good artists.
Absolutely. I also love to, for the majority, I think she maybe had one or two like men who were involved, but I love that most of her openers were women. Like, it was a lot of like
Gracie
either
Abrams,
known or lesser known, or she always lifts people up, and it's a great, it's great.
There's two more people that I do want to mention before we get off. One, St. Vincent, one for Best Alternative.
I love her.
She is unbelievable. That song's fantastic. Great for her. I thought Claro might win, but good for St. Vincent. I'm proud of her, happy for her. I know Kenny loves St. Vincent so much. The other person, and I want to bring this up because I think you'll see this as probably, I would say, early guess for Album of the Year next year. Someone who presented an award tonight and is also somebody else who has people in her wake now and is becoming a new kingmaker is Olivia Rodrigo. Olivia obviously put on Chappell Roan and connected her to Dan Nigro. I've loved what Olivia's done for the last two albums. I just have a feeling she's been kind of quiet, and I have a feeling whatever she does next is going to explode. And I forgot about Olivia because this was such a big year for like young female pop stars that you forget about the one person who didn't drop a record.
Right, exactly. I bet that, talking about rock and roll, Olivia could float right into that category. Like her, whatever, it's Guts was kind of rockish. Like it had a lot of those, those ballads on there that sound like angry kid, like angry high school kid shit, but in a really good way. And I think that if she were honing in on that, that would be incredible. I think that it was a smart move. People always want to say that there's beef between like Olivia and Taylor or whatever. And nobody, like, fans don't really believe it. I do think, though, that there was a conversation that was had at some point being like, we know you're a Taylor Swift fan, but like, you got to separate yourself because otherwise you'll just be Taylor Swift's pet forever. Right. Like, so I think that she couldn't like post on her story every 5 minutes. She used to like really, really pump up Taylor. And I think that distancing herself by making her music a little less similar, like on Sour, there's a lot of songs that could have been Taylor songs, Right. I think is a smart move. And Olivia is very talented in a lot of different ways. So I think that she's got that like punk rocker thing, on the horizon if she wants it.
I'm very interested. Like now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, who is going to be that person with the breakout year this year? And I'm excited now. After what I just witnessed in the year we just had, I'm excited to see what happens this year. Overall, great Grammys. Great 2024, 2025 is going to be great. Dante, anything left to say? Is there anything big that happened that you might want to bring up? Maybe Shakira. I don't know. You were excited about
Shakira
that.
Was great.
Dante was very excited about that.
That was the
best. Did you like Shakira, Dante? Did you like her?
Best part of the night by far. I cannot believe that woman is 50-something years old.
Crazy.
She doesn't age. Her face is exactly the same. Like, it's creepy how exactly the same it is. Like I was like close up to my TV looking for wrinkles, couldn't find a thing. Like
she looks exactly the same way when I was obsessed with her when I was like 12. And I was like, this woman still looks exactly the same. Big time shot. And look, dude, we got a little bit of equilibrium here. I got Shakira doing her thing. You guys got Benson Boone out here doing front flips with his dick out. Like this was good for everybody.
They were the Grammys were just horny enough.
No, for Dante, nothing is.
That's true. That's true.
It was a meh Grammys for me. You guys,
I think you're just being contrarian.
No, I loved it last year. This year, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. It just wasn't.
I understand what you're saying, though, Dante, that there wasn't like a big crazy moment. You're right. Like there wasn't anything. Like it went pretty much as expected. I'd say.
Maybe that's why I liked it. Maybe I didn't feel like I was like, I don't know. I didn't feel like reality TV to me. I felt like maybe
I wasn't on edge, really.
Dante, was there not enough DJ Khaled for you? Is that the problem? DJ Khaled didn't.
Also, can we switch it up with Trevor Noah next year?
Yes, please, for the love of God.
I would love that. Yeah, Trevor Noah. I mean, he does an okay job, but he's boring to me,
So Nikki Glazer is going to do everything now, so maybe she'll just do it.
I hope she does.
Get her. She's great. Or get Gillis. Get some new blood.
Somebody. Anybody. How about all the love for DJ Mustard? Speaking of DJs,
deserves it.
So deserves it. I was really happy for him. And he was able to like chit chat on the microphone and stuff. Like, love him. And everyone's so hyped for him. I like that. I always
How
like
about fucking Diana Ross coming out of nowhere?
Oh my God. And she looked beautiful. She floated out on the stage. Like everyone was like,
she was not there mentally. She looked great.
She looked amazing.
Though? I mean, she's old, right?
Great.
I mean, dude, she was the face of Motown. Think about that. That's like early 60s. So she's got to be.
Let's see. She's 80.
Yeah, I mean, come on. She could be president.
Good for her.
She's literally right in the perfect age to be the president of the United States right now.
Yeah, she really could. I would vote for her for sure.
Why not?
Diana,
something out there. No, I mean overall, like Dante, what do you think? What do you think about James Corden next year? Get him on stage.
Oh God.
John Oliver. I'm just picking some names out of a hat. I don't know. You tell me.
I like John Oliver. I like John Oliver a lot. He's not a host. Funny. He's not a host.
I would punch that dude in the belly.
John Oliver.
There is something about there. This is the last thing I'll say because I don't want to get political. There's something about someone with like a wildly British accent telling me how to feel about American politics that pisses me off. It just does. Fair. I'm sorry.
That's how I feel about Elon Musk.
Thank you. Yes. What is this?
I'm like, why is he? Who gave him the keys to the car? Like, you know. Like, you don't even go here.
You can't sound like the queen and then tell me how to feel. It's in my fucking blood, dude. Like this is it. Great Grammys. Thank you very much, Kelly, for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me.
Kelly.
We'll be back later this week with an episode. Either way, great Grammys. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Adios.